Well, happy post-holidays, everybody. Um, things have been pretty busy. My kids were on quite a bit of vacation time. Plus, then they had um, approximately like a week of snow days after their holiday break. So, was spending my holidays with focusing on my family. Um, and then actually hit it pretty strong with game nights and such. There's been some other uploads to the channel. We played Swivers. We're doing some more Mothership stuff because Mothership is always a good choice. And if it isn't clear in that Mothership adventure, it's completely because usually I run like a written adventure thing for Mothership, but for like the first time we're just doing like whatever procedural generated stuff. And it's been a lot of fun to just sort of make things up as we play. At any rate, finally decided to get back to solo Shadowdark. Get back to our good buddy Stilton here. But as I was going over all the pieces of paper I've been collecting for Shadowdark, solo Shadowdark, I was like, man, this is getting kind of unwieldy. It'd be cool if I had like a way to organize it. And then I like remembered the using these dungeon cards to play off of, putting them on freeform. And I like that a lot. So I thought, why not try to convert the whole campaign to freeform? I think I got the initial idea from, is it Man Alone? He uses freeform as like a virtual GM screen. He'll put it like on the monitor, like rules and stuff like that. And I thought, well, why not take it a step further? So we have like a row of rules here to reference as if I had a GM screen. Oh, my music's a little loud. And then I put Stilton's character sheet here. And luckily, playing a ranger means I just need like the one sheet to look at. And then we have Faustus here. A-U-S-T-U-S. Got our buddy Faustus. Let's see if we can change the font. Where are all the tools? Hang on now, I'm missing some tools. There we go, the selection tool. Faustus. Straighten. Cool. Can I change the color? Yeah, Faustus. Faustus would be, let's make him green. Anyway, one of the things I am a little worried about is over digitizing my solo play. I like to kind of unplug from screens for solo play, and now this is obviously like the exact opposite of that. But on the other hand, it'd be cool to have it all like condensed onto just the iPad. I do use my iPad for GMing on my in-person table and appreciate it quite a bit. I consider an iPad is like a GM's like the best tool you could have at the table, personally. In fact, I have a lot to say about the actual running of a game. I'll need this. The actual running of a game, like my, I don't know. I would like to do like, if anyone asks me like, hey Matt, how do you run games, physically? Like, what's your means of doing it? I could go on for a long time. In fact, in short, what I use is my iPad, and I connect it to an external monitor, and the monitor becomes sort of like a in-person VTT, and we put like minis on the screen and all that stuff. I feel like I'm really on to something for like a best practice. Where was I going with this? Anyway, so I moved the whole solo dark thing onto my iPad just to see if it'll make things a little bit more wieldly. But I haven't converted all my old written stuff over, so we'll still be tapping into that a little bit. The other thing is I don't really remember where we left off. I know we had gotten out of the Stilton and Link and the rest of the party, I'm forgetting their name, had finished exploring this temple dungeon. It was like a graveyard in the temple district, had like a route into a dungeon. And as they explored it, they discovered that the whole temple dungeon was like, I want to say like clockwork themed. And that is actually where they found the Cyclopean Mechanism. I'm going to write that down over here somewhere. I wonder if I could do like a section for like story beats. Southall. That's not how you. Southall under siege. Mercenary company wants the Cyclopean Mechanism. Cyclopean Mechanism is a time, I want to say it's not time travel, but it's like a time dilation device. In my head, the Cyclopean Mechanism is like an orb that's about the size of a basketball and has like this weird, I am not an artist by any means, but it has like this weird like eyeball thing in the middle, and it is not exactly covered in runes so much as it's covered in why can't I draw a straight line? Covered in all these like slots and gears. This is a terrible drawing. This is not. It's a Pokeball. No, it's like the cube thing from Hellraiser, right? You can, as the party leaves the temple district and retreats back to the flop house, which I think is over here in the slums. Yeah. Stilton, who's carrying the device, sort of plays with it and finds that as he sort of like works the mechanism apparatus, the walk from the temple to the flop house is it's both like shorter and long. Like it speeds up at points and it slows down at points, and it's very unsettling magic altogether. I picture like Stilton is not comfortable. He's not super comfortable with magic in the first place. He's more down to earth than that. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that ranger herbal remedies is a kind of magic, but it's not like a wizard cast spells or anything like that. And time magic is, in particular, a sort of very uncomfortable magic. And this device is just sort of full of it. The other detail to note that as Stilton has now spent at least a day or two here in Southall, his curse. He has the ire of Zenon hanging over his head like a Damocles sword. And the more time he spends in a location... Ooh, that is a huge marker. The more time he spends in a location, the more he's going to affect how things are there. What I mean by that is Zenon will shroud Southall in increasingly gloomy weather, right? So as the party sort of gathers in the flop house, just want to check the camera. As the party gathers in the flop house, their seating area, I'm picturing it's basically like a converted hospital or something like that, maybe. And it's predominantly like a common area up front, and then like a like rows and rows of bunk beds, basically, in the back of this wide, maybe hospital's not the right word, but like a warehouse sort of thing. And Lank and company have zero trouble clearing out the common area, right? Like they show up, and the riffraff in the space gives them no quarter. And our party, which I believe was here, is able to sort of gather around a table, a rickety table. Maybe there's not enough seats, so Rana, I believe her name was, offers to stand. And as they're sort of like pooling up all their, I don't want to say ill-gotten, but adventurously gotten gains, the party sets this basketball-sized artifact down on the table, and it's heavy enough that the table actually sort of like bows a little bit. And they're having a conversation about what to do with it. Lank speaks up first and says that the company of St. Theodore, the mercenary company here, will not rest until they have their hands on it. Because what we know about St. Theodore is they are led by Adulpus Spawn, a wizard who specializes in time travel magic. And Adulpus is aware that this mechanism is here in Southall. But rather than go through the rigmarole of turning the city inside out, he's just laid siege to it. And he's basically saying, I'm not letting you guys out until the Cyclopean Mechanism is turned over to me. So Lank is the first one to speak up, and she says, for the good of my city, she's kind of like a Southall patriot. I don't know if patriot would be the right term. I think we need to either get this thing out of here or hand it over. And that concept doesn't sit well with Benny. Benny, the cleric of inverted Ord, the anti-Ord cleric, basically, which I picture is just like a religious sect that is basically focused on throwing mud in the eye of Ord, you know. Benny, ever rebellious, is like, there's no way we're handing this thing over. But what they don't know is that we got it. And we could lead them away from the city with it, couldn't we? And 201, everyone's attention sort of turns to Stilton, who is engrossed in looking over this orb thing in his hands. And sort of trying to overcome the uneasy feeling that manipulating it, manipulating it puts an uneasy feeling in his stomach. And the moment seems to stretch on for a little bit, until Stilton realizes that everyone is looking at him and waiting for him to speak. When he looks up, they say, "You could get it out of here. You're not..." Benny has a more diplomatic way of saying it, but essentially the group says, "You're an outsider anyway. You don't belong here." Right. You could, and you are also fast enough on foot, or fast enough out there. They're gesturing at our world map. So, where is it? No scenes. I opened up a new. Okay. You're fast enough out there that you could essentially give St. Theodore the slip. Okay. Stilton, what does he say? He's compelled to agree. I mean, he isn't from around here, but he's like, "Look, I can't just. I'm gonna need things, right?" And now we're gonna speed run through offline. I've already. First off, I leveled up Stilton to level 2. It seemed appropriate after getting through the temple dungeon, and he's already taken his cut of the gains from the group, at least what I remember. Stilton now has a mithril chainmail armor, and I do want to upgrade his oops, this is just kind of a little bit more fiddly than paper. I'm going to upgrade. I know they found a +2 dagger in there, so what I'm going to do is take the Madeira's dagger, and I'm just going to make it a +2 dagger now. As they've sort of like upgraded the dagger with the one that they found, kind of thing. I'm a big proponent of doing that instead of like stacking up tons of magic items. Ooh, I moved this. You upgrade what you have, so it's now a +2 dagger. And you got some gold and a spider silk cloak, although I'm not really sure what the significance of spider silk would be. Then anyway, Stilton leverages the idea of like, if that's the case, then you're gonna have to let me have sort of like a lion's share of what we found in that temple dungeon, which the party agrees. And he says, "I'm also gonna need a horse, because you can't evade an army on foot." And the party agrees again. And Link says, I can outfit you with one of our town guard patrol Patrol horse, is that a thing? And then I guess my question here is, how do we get you out, Stilton? Because remember, the town is under siege. And this time, everyone's attention sort of turns towards Benny, who, although he's a cleric, is pretty much the closest thing the group has to a professional thief, right? Because Link here, she's captain of the town guard, who moonlights as a crawler. Rana is an uncouth barbarian who is not really sure why Rana is tagging along with this group. Stilton is sort of a fledgling ranger, which leaves Benny, who, if I remember right, I don't want to bother getting on his character sheet, but he's sort of he's higher level, and this whole anti-Wyrd thing is he keeps colorful company, we'll just say. And does Benny? I'm gonna try a new Oracle die, but anyway, does Benny have a lead on a way out of this town, out of Southall, that maybe he hasn't alluded to quite yet? Oh, no, he doesn't. But he knows someone who does. And who does Benny know that? Who does Benny know that has a way to get out of this town? Let's take a look at some of our landmarks here and see what we got. Because I know we messed with a tavern here in the High District. By the way, putting the legend on the back of this map was like the worst idea I've ever had. Yeah, if memory serves, Stilton's first stop was over at the Dog and Snake, but I don't think it wouldn't make sense to me for there's a black market apothecary in the market district. And then there's also a warlock's hovel. Both of those sort of call out to me. Okay, Benny says the apothecary in the market district, which is number 4. Jeez, right down here. So from here, the flop house to the apothecary. That apothecary is always stocked up, Benny says. No doubt that these guys have, like, they know something that they're not sharing, and if there's a lead on getting out of this town under the nose of St. Theodore, that would be my recommended place to start. So we're going to rest for the night in the flop house. The flop house is risky, so there's a 2 in 6 chance of something happening overnight. Look at that, 2. Something happens. Something happens in the flop house. Let's roll on our random encounter. Slums. D100. There's 1. I'm gonna keep all these tiny dice. 9. D6 giant centipedes writhe out of a midden heap. D6. Awesome. 3 giant centipedes. Okay, so what we're gonna do, draw like a crude idea of what the flop house would look like. Ignore that. That's stupid. let's do, here's the main level of the flop house. The front door. We have our common area of like a couple tables, just a couple. There's probably some sort of, I wouldn't call it like a bar, but there is a, I don't know, you get drinks and stuff there. We'll say there's a storeroom over here. You know, I gotta say, I do like this style of being able to like just scroll anywhere and doodle is kind of cool. And then rows. Oh boy. Later hand meant rows of bunk beds. Just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of sleeping people. And overnight, as the party has fallen asleep, 3 giant centipedes crawl out of a hole in the storage room. There's now a drilled, not a drilled, but you get the idea. There are 2d6 other people, 5, 6, 7 strangers here sleeping in the flop house. Cool. And our centipedes. Use the black ones for centipedes. I said there's 3. We'll say someone was working in the storeroom, storing some stuff. When the centipedes broke through, maybe not out of the ground, but so much as they like come out of. Someone was storing something kind of fishy there. Old barrels of fish barrels, you know, and if you're not careful, giant centipede parasites will grow and grow and grow inside these barrels of fish until they're suddenly a problem. Someone was supposed to take out the garbage and they never did. And now it's everybody's problem. Okay, what do we need to know? Giant centipedes. AC 11. They have 4 hit points. And there's 3 of them. They do +1, 1d4, plus poison. So, +1, 1d4, con 12. Or 1d4 rounds. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm bothering to write all that down. Okay, is the unfortunate person in the storeroom able to escape? There's probably some like boxes here. It's a squirrel thought I just had. And then there's just like piles of junk. Matt, who cares? Get to the okay, is this fella able to get out or raise the alarm rather, or I guess the better question is, are the centipedes able to quietly ambush him? Maybe. Okay, they're gonna get a surprise round on this poor guy. And is there stats for like an average dude? Peasant, would that be the word? I almost want to go to like C for citizen. Villager. Peasant. There is peasant. Cool. Okay, so HP 4. Okay, so they get basically like 3 attacks. I'm gonna give them like the surprise round on him. They get 3 attacks. Natural 20, That is, I said they do. See, why did I write it all the way over there? 2d4 damage on this guy right off the bat. 2, 3, so 3. Another natural 20. What did I say? 3 plus 4 is 7. 8. This guy's got 2 hit points left. And then he has to make 3 con saves. No, they kill him. And then they start chowing down on this guy. He's a gunner. Okay, so the maybe turned out to be yes. The centipedes were able to dispatch him, and then they break through the doorway on the next round, and then they get a surprise round on our sleeping everybody. So then they ambush. And fuck, I'm gonna need those character sheets after all. Or will I? Okay, Stilton is 15. That's a miss. Link. Although I should give him advantage. 13 is also not gonna hit though. Anyway, advantage on Link. 4, 10, 11 might be a hit on Link. Why do I make those sounds? Nope, it's a miss. Apparently they're sleeping in their armor. I don't want to bother. No, everybody is able to sort of like gather their wits as the centipedes come like bursting through the door. Oh, I need one for Faustus. Yellow for Faustus was sleeping at Stilton's bedside. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to. I'm just gonna do side-based initiative. I believe Morkborg does it. 4 up is the party goes. Yep, it's our turn. Stilton draws his +2 dagger and stabs at the centipede, trying to get him. That's a hit. Yep. And it's a d4 +2. Dispatches the first of the centipede. So we'll get rid of one of them. Okay. Link takes her giant. Oh, I remember this thing being crazy powerful. Her great sword. And just tries to like skewer the centipede with it. Is still a hit because she has +8. And she does d12, d12 +3. Yep. Okay. And Rana jumps to Benny's help. She really likes Benny. And attacks with her. She has those bear claws. Yeah, she's always armed. +2. That's a hit. And does d8. I spent more time setting this up than 2 damage. Morale check for centipede. Let's do morale. It's a wisdom check if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, DC 15 wisdom check. We are right there. Okay. Fails. Centipede runs. Yeah, I spent more time setting this up than actually putting in the combat. We are quite good at killing giant centipedes. Not a problem. This is in the middle of the night, so the rest is sort of interrupted. Maybe I need to set up some sort of means of tracking time on here. That'd be kind of cool. And I want to say that the party, Benny is like, well, as long as we're up, what do you say we just head out to check out that apothecary? What do you say, fellas? That's how Benny talks. Okay. Now, if memory serves, the way... Yep. We travel 9 sections a day. I really did like dividing this town up into like neighborhoods, each one taking some time to move through. And I believe it's every 2 hours we check for check 2 areas. Excuse me, we check for a random encounter. So we go from here to here. That's 1 and 6. We're good. Here to here. This is 2 and 6. Fuck. High district random encounter. So this is pre-dawn. Moving through the high district, the ritzy neighborhood. There. Pages are stuck. Their way through the high district, waking up. A formerly taxidermist basilisk charges out of a curio shop. Oh shit. So I guess there's a curio shop in this area. What else is in this area? That's 0.1 for the high district. The Jade Toad. Okay. A formerly taxidermied basilisk leaps through this chop of the Jade Toad. Let's see. Basilisk. Level 5 monster. I don't think... is the area crowded? No, but it's starting to get crowded. People are still sort of waking up and coming out for the morning. And in addition, there is a merchant on a wagon, like some sort of like I don't want to say milkman, but something like a milkman. Some sort of breakfast wagon merchant is scooting by. Does the basilisk take an interest in that wagon? No. And the wagon is starting to like speed off in a way that is like the party was like, oh, maybe we could like jump on the back of the wagon, but not in time because the salesman on the breakfast cart is quick to act and just sort of like peels out of there. And so instead, the basilisk turns his attention on the party. I guess we're going back to combat. The party's got the drop on the basilisk. We'll do Lank first because she can do no wrong with that giant greatsword. It's a +8 to hit, natural 20, so 2d12. 2, 10, I believe it's like +2. We'll just say +2. So 12 damage out of 25 to the basilisk. Gonna slide this map out of the way again. See, this is what I mean. I don't have enough desk space for all this crap. Basilisk. AC 13. HP. It's 14 actually. I was reading bear. 25. And we did 12 points of damage. Rana goes in. Rana's like +1 and does like a D8, I believe. That's a hit. What does Rana do? D8, yeah. Rana like grapples with this thing. She's like, don't let me look at its eyes. 5 + 1 is 6 damage, so now we're up to 18 out of 25. Stilton is going to shoot his bow. He's like a +1. Nope. Arrow goes wide. So he's down to 16 arrows. That's not good. The size of that 16 is what's not good. And Benny casts spell. That's his want. Benny casts Smite. Yeah. It's a DC 12. 9. He is +4. Yeah, so it goes off. And the Smite does. It's hard to read through. D6 damage. 2. So 2, 20. Basilisk makes a morale check because he's scared. He's not worried, right? Because he's got a +1. Yep. So he bites. He bites. Why did I say that like that? He bites Rana. 15. It's a hit. Rana takes 2d6 damage. 4, 8. 8 damage. Rana almost dies. And then Rana needs to make a con save. Fails. Rana is abruptly petrified. That's great. And her second attack, Link. Misses Link. Our turn. Link hits, does d12 plus math. 2, 3, 4, 5. Link runs the basilisk through and dispatches it. I love this picture of the basilisk. And immediately starts scolding the shopkeep who stumbles out of the jade toad. Kind of an operation you're running. Your stupid lizard came out and has petrified my friend. Does the curio shop have a cure for petrification on them? Maybe. I really don't like this response. Maybe. How do I... maybe they haven't been able to get through the backlog of materials in the store. So the party's going to spend one of their movements at the curio shop. What was this? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5 out of 9 for a day. It costs time to find the petrification cure, which is like a salve. And Rana is now incredibly injured, but I'm going to assume Benny can heal on the way. 1, 2. So we only have to check for a random encounter in the market, which is a 1 and 6. Okay, whew. That was a 2. That was close. And I think that's where I'm going to call it, arriving at the apothecary. We'll pick it up there. And keep it short tonight. It's already late. I started late. Just trying to get back into the groove of things. And on a high note, and our high note being Rana almost skewered by a basilisk, but not permanently petrified. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do have to say, I do like playing on the freeform map. It's kind of cool. Having like an infinite canvas to just doodle on as I go has been cool. I probably shouldn't erase things like I did. I should just keep it going. I will going forward. Again, thanks for watching, and looking forward to the next one. Good night, everybody.